Dualtron Thunder 2. Just came back from a 70-mile ride. 61 of those miles was in speed number 2, because this scooter has 3 speeds, right? 1, 2, and 3. And I had it on speed 2 on eco mode. That means it's still dual motor, but not full speed, right? So I think it was going approximately 27, 28 miles per hour. And then over time, as the battery went down, it went down to, I think, 24 miles per hour. So from 27 to 28, right there, 27 to 28 miles per hour, down to 24. And I was going that speed for 61 miles. And then I went a few more miles in gear 1, because I had to get to the charging station where I charged the scooter. That's very good range. So I was going, average speed of like 25 miles per hour, 25, 26 miles per hour overall. And that's still very powerful. That's very powerful acceleration. It was accelerating to that speed very quickly when I would have to stop for red lights or stop signs. And then accelerating quickly to full speed, or to the speed of 25 average miles per hour. And then I'm really happy with this scooter. It's really a nice scooter, even though it's square wave controllers. When I started riding the Wolf King GT Pro and the Wolf King GTR, I didn't think I would ever like square wave controllers again. And it's hard to compare because it's 2 completely different experiences. Just like the scooters are completely different experiences. I was just thinking before I made this video, approximately 15 minutes before making this video, I was thinking if I wanted an off-road scooter, the Wolf King GTR would be the absolute first choice without hesitation. That is the off-road scooter. I would want to change the calipers to the best calipers I could find for this scooter that would fit on there. I don't like the brakes on this scooter. Sorry to say that, it's the truth. I don't like the brakes on it. I also don't like the electronic braking. I like when the electronic regenerative braking brings me to a complete stop. Sorry to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to keep saying that until the scooter eventually has it, or maybe they'll just leave it that way and I'll just keep saying that I wish it had the regenerative braking that brought me to a complete stop. At 10 miles an hour, it just disengages and it just coasts. So then I pulled harder to make the hydraulic brake stop the scooter. But if I try to compare the braking system on the Wolf King GTR to the Dualtron Thunder 2, there's absolutely no comparison. I don't know the stopping distance, how similar that would be. I just like the responsiveness of the brakes on the Dualtron Thunder 2, but this has a completely different braking system, and it's very, very strong. In fact, when I was riding the Wolf King GTR a lot, and then I started to ride the Dualtron Thunder 2, the brakes were so strong because I set them to the maximum strength. I always set the brakes, the electronic regenerative braking, to the maximum power on any scooter I ride. To me, it just reduces maintenance of the brake pads, because if I'm not using the hydraulic brakes, then the brake pads are not being used. If I'm just using the electronic regenerative braking, that allows the motors to become generators, and primarily what it does is let me save my brake pads. It's not that it charges the battery that much. A lot of people just look at how much power it puts back in the battery, and they're not happy with it. I'm not looking at it as a battery charger. I'm looking at it as a brake pad maintenance reducer, if I could say it that way. I think that's a good way to describe it, one of many ways. So I'm getting ready to take the front wheel off and see if I can change that front tire and see what happened to that front tire. I'm predicting that the front tire had slime added to the self-healing tire, and I think that adhesive inside the liner came off the tire and it's just wound up it's like coming apart in there, because I can hear something slapping around on the tire. It sounds like the tire's coming apart inside, and I think that's what happened. It just basically killed the slime. I think killed the inside of the tire, so it couldn't heal anymore. It lost its healing abilities. So but we'll see. Maybe that's not the case, but I think that's what I'm predicting right now, and that's what I think. That's like an educated guess, just based on my understanding of the way things work in these scooters and the tires and things. So I did want to say that it was a very nice ride on the scooter, and it was nice to be able to ride at that speed. I had ridden, Ginger on Wheels did a range test. I think he did a range test on the Wolf King GTR. I know he did one on the Wolf King. I don't know if it's the Wolf King GTR or the Wolf King GT Pro, but those have the same battery. And I think the Wolf King GTR, what I mean is the battery capacity, I think, is the same. It's very, very similar or identical. But what changed is the Wolf King GTR has more power. So I think that's giving us less range, right? So whether it was Ginger on Wheels tested the Wolf King GTR or the Wolf King GT Pro, I forget how far he went. I feel like he was going in the mid 20 miles per hour, maybe 27 miles per hour, and I thought he went approximately 27 miles. But I would have to look at that again. It's been a while since I looked at that video, and I got similar results myself. So if that is the case, if that is what the Wolf King GTR can do range-wise, then this is significantly more range, the Dualtron Thunder 2. And price-wise, I think this one costs less, the Dualtron Thunder 2, because they have a Dualtron Thunder 3 now. And I don't know how the price on that compares to the Wolf King GTR. They being just, there's I think Mini Motors USA, Mini Motors USA, they now have a Dualtron Thunder 3, which I'd have to look at it, but it looks very similar to the Dualtron Thunder 2. I think it has the backlight, and a lot of things look similar, but it has a new stem, and it has the new display. I think it can connect to the phone, which is good. That's neat. It has good headlights. I mean, I haven't seen them. I haven't seen how the headlights are, but my favorite headlight is the Wolf King GT Pro and Wolf King GTR, those headlights. But I think the Dualtron Thunder 3 now has some pretty powerful lights, which is great. That's much needed. And that can actually be added to this, but I think it's going to be several $100s if I add that to this scooter. But I could add some aftermarket lights. I just have these on here for now. These little lights, they work good. Today I was just running one at middle power. It has 3 settings, and I ran it in the middle to make it last longer. Because at first I was running both of these at full power, and then what was happening after a few hours of riding, the battery would deplete, and so I didn't want to run out of battery power. This does have, I think it has 2 lights. Yeah, there's 2 lights on each side on the front, so there's 4 lights there, but that doesn't project very far ahead. It really needs lights out here. It really needs some powerful lights in the front here, like 1 or 2 very powerful lights. And because the Wolf King GT Pro and Wolf King GTR work so well with the dual light system, that's something I like to see. I would like to see on every scooter I ride now. I'm just used to that. Anyway, everyone, just an update video with my experience with the Dualtron Thunder 2. Very happy with riding the scooter. I'm really happy with the range. I'm really happy with being able to charge it fast. For those of you that looked at my previous videos just uploaded in the past couple hours, I charged this scooter at 24.9 amps, 25 amps, 25 amps. This scooter has a 56 amp battery management system input. That it can take a 56 amp charge. The battery management system can, and I want to see what the battery does. I don't know if that's known, what the battery can take. I'm sure it's known by someone. That specification must be somewhere. But wouldn't it be nice if I could charge this battery at 56 amps, which is 4,700 watts, right? I charged it at 2,000 watts today, 2,200 watts max. That was the maximum I got up to, and that's close to the limit of the Roger charger. Okay, but I am looking for a more powerful charger, and I'm asking. I'm researching this. I'm researching where can I find a 56 or more amp charger that can charge at 84 volts and 56 or more amps. Right. What I really need is something that just can go as high as possible, because I'm going to be charging all my batteries at the limit of what they can be charged at from now on. That's what I'm doing. And if a battery explodes because it can't handle it, then I'll know that I can't do that. But there's going to be warning signs before that happens. First of all, I will not test that indoors. That will not be tested indoors. That will always be tested outdoors. And I'll be watching temperature closely. Right now I'm using my hand to monitor temperature, and I'm just touching around the battery, right? The scooter itself, underneath the aluminum, is a heat sink for the battery. So if it gets warm in there, I'm going to feel it. Well, that battery remained cold. It remained ambient temperature. Everything remained ambient temperature. The charger didn't even get hot. It was staying warm. And that's because those fans, when I didn't know this, but when I go above 16 amps on the charger, when I go above 16 amps, the charger kicks into the fans on the charger kick into a higher speed, and that really gets the air flowing through that fan, through the charger. So that charger just cooled, it just stayed cool. I did replace these these levers that allow it to fold. I replaced the levers with these bolts and nuts that will prevent this whole part from sliding up. It kept sliding up, and then this would be loose. And it made me think, yeah, that would be really nice to have the Dualtron Thunder 3 that I think solved all those problems with the stem, being loose and things. But I'm so happy right now with the range on this scooter and the fast charging ability. Those go together. How far can I go and how fast can I recharge? Okay. And I'm not going to be thinking about, am I destroying my battery? I mean, I've talked about this with people my whole life, and I've been told by people directly, okay, not just reading on the internet, but talking to people that work in the industry at very high levels, that charging the battery fast is better for it than charging slow. Slow actually can cause all kinds of problems. Now, when I say that, we're talking about high quality cells. If the cells have a lot of internal resistance with them, inside of them, meaning if the cells are getting real hot, right? If the cells are getting, this video is going to get interrupted any second right now because I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to be getting a phone call soon. Apologies for that. If the cells get hot because they have a lot of internal resistance inside of them, they cannot handle being charged fast. So we can't do that. But the Dualtron Thunder 2 has a very good battery in it. I don't know exactly what's in there. I just know it's really, really good because it's taking the charge. I had 25 amps today. 25 amps for an hour and a half. This is a 3,300 watt hour battery. 3,360 watt hours, if I recall correctly. So I think it's a 40 amp hour battery. If I recall correctly, 40 amp hour. Double check that. 84 volts at full charge, 40 amp hour. Anyway, I'll stop the video early because I know I'm getting a phone call any minute, and I don't want this video to be interrupted. So I'll talk to you in the next video, everyone. Talk to you soon. Okay, take care. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.